Breaking news. Tensions flare near Ayungin Shoal. The BRP Teresa Magbanua, a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, approaches the rusted hulk of the BRP Sierra Madre. Its mission resupply the Filipino Marines stationed there, holding the line for Philippine sovereignty. But a massive Chinese Coast Guard cutter blocks its path, horn blaring, flanked by smaller militia boats. The Filipino captain, voice steady, declares, "We are in Philippine waters, on a humanitarian mission." The Chinese reply, "Leave immediately. You are in Chinese territory." The Filipino crew knows the law is on their side, but the threat is real. Water cannons are aimed, ships edge closer. This is not a negotiation. It's a show of force. These standoffs are now routine in the West Philippine Sea. Every resupply run is a gamble, a test of nerves. Filipino sailors endure harassment, aggressive maneuvers, and blinding lasers. They are on the front lines of a shadow war, fought with intimidation, not missiles. Each successful mission is a small victory, but every standoff risks disaster. The world watches, concerned. The crew documents every encounter, sending images back to Manila and the world. These images reveal the daily struggle to uphold sovereign rights against a neighbor determined to rewrite the map. The sailors aren't just delivering supplies, they carry the nation's pride. They risk their lives to keep the Philippine flag flying over this isolated outpost. The BRP Sierra Madre stands as a symbol of resistance. The Chinese ships loom, but the Filipino crew holds their ground. The standoff is tense, but the mission continues. Each day, the risk of miscalculation grows. The world's eyes are on this flashpoint. For the crew, it's another day defending their homeland. Their courage is quiet, but it echoes across the sea. In these waters, sovereignty is measured in resolve. For the Philippine Coast Guard and Navy, every patrol in the West Philippine Sea is a high-stakes mission. Their task, protect Filipino fishermen and assert the nation's presence in its own waters. The challenge? Facing the overwhelming force of the China Coast Guard and its maritime militia. These aren't ordinary fishing boats, they're a state-sponsored fleet designed to dominate by numbers and aggression. Filipino crews are outnumbered, outgunned, and constantly under pressure. On patrol, radar lights up. Dozens of Chinese militia boats form a wall, blocking Filipino fishermen. A Chinese cutter shadows every move, sometimes dangerously close. Lasers are shined into the bridge, blinding captains. This is daily reality, a psychological and physical battle. The stress is relentless, weeks at sea, far from family, always on edge. Any maneuver could escalate into conflict. The Marines on the BRP Sierra Madre live in harsh conditions, dependent on these perilous resupply missions. Each arrival of a Philippine ship is a lifeline and a trigger for another standoff. The Marines watch as their countrymen face down a superior force, all to keep this outpost alive. The burden is heavy, but the resolve is strong. These sailors and Marines are professionals, but also human. They know the nation's security rests on their shoulders. Their courage is tested daily. The struggle is about more than territory. It's about survival and dignity. In the shadow war, every act of defiance matters. The power gap in the West Philippine Sea is stark. The Philippines, with a proud maritime tradition, faces China's massive modern navy and coast guard. Philippine forces rely on aging ships and a handful of F-50 jets, no match for China's advanced fighters and militarized islands. China's artificial islands, bristling with missiles and radar, project power deep into Philippine waters. A Philippine jet taking off from Palawan is already within range of Chinese aircraft. This imbalance emboldens China's Coast Guard to act with impunity, harassing, blocking, and intimidating with little fear of reprisal. Diplomatic protests and legal victories matter, but on the water might often makes right. The Philippines is left reacting, always on the defensive. The urgent need isn't to match China ship for ship, but to build a credible deterrent. A stronger defense would force China to reconsider its actions. If the Philippines could challenge hostile aircraft, China would have to think twice. A capable air force would signal resolve and readiness. It's not about starting a war, it's about preventing one. Deterrence is the key to stability. The time to strengthen defenses is now. Amid rising tensions, Japan steps forward with a historic offer. Tokyo proposes transferring a squadron of Mitsubishi F-2 fighter jets, the Viper Zero, to the Philippines. The F-2, co-developed with the US, is a modern multi-role jet far beyond anything in the Philippine arsenal. This marks a dramatic shift in Japan's policy, signaling its commitment to regional stability. The F-2 isn't just hardware, it's a political statement. The Philippines is not alone. For the Philippine Air Force, the F-2s would be a game-changer, enabling real air and maritime defense. Imagine, when Chinese jets harass, the Philippines could scramble F-2s, challenging intruders on equal terms. This creates a credible deterrent and changes the risk for any aggressor. The offer is more than planes, it's a partnership, a shared vision for security. For the Philippines, it's the opportunity of a generation. For Japan, it's a bold step toward a proactive security role. The Viper Zero could tip the balance in the region. The question, will the Philippines seize this chance? Japan's F-2 offer reflects a profound shift in its security strategy. For decades, Japan's constitution limited its military to self-defense and banned arms exports. But rising threats from China, North Korea, and Russia have changed Tokyo's outlook. Japan now sees regional stability as vital to its own security and economy. The government has increased defense spending and relaxed arms export rules. The F-2 offer is the clearest sign of this new, proactive policy. By arming allies like the Philippines, Japan invests in its own security and the region's stability. This is the new face of Japanese foreign policy, confident, engaged, and ready to defend shared interests. What makes the Mitsubishi F-2 Viper Zero so formidable? Designed for maritime strike, it boasts greater range and payload than the Philippines' current jets. Its advanced AESA radar tracks multiple targets at long range, resistant to jamming. The F-2 can carry sophisticated anti-ship missiles and advanced air-to-air weapons. A squadron of F-2s would pose a real threat to hostile ships and aircraft. Compared to the F-A-50, the F-2 is a leap forward, true multi-role capability for complex missions. For the Philippine Air Force, it's not just an upgrade, it's a transformation. The F-2 would finally give the Philippines the tools to defend its skies and seas. It's a credible deterrent, tailored for the nation's most urgent security needs. The Viper Zero is the edge the Philippines has long needed. Japan's F-2 offer faces a frustrating obstacle: Philippine law. Republic Act 9184, the Government Procurement Reform Act, requires public bidding for all government purchases. This makes sense for office supplies, but not for advanced military hardware. Fighter jets, like the F-2, are only available through government-to-government deals. The law's rigid process can delay or even block vital defense acquisitions. The result, the Philippines risks missing a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Security experts have long called for a special exemption for strategic defense deals. The F-2 offer exposes the absurdity of letting bureaucracy dictate national security. The law must be reformed, urgently. The window to accept Japan's offer won't stay open forever. National security should not be hostage to red tape. The time to act is now. The F-2 deal is more than a bilateral agreement, it's the foundation for a new trilateral alliance. The US, Japan, and the Philippines share a vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific. With F-2s, the Philippine Air Force could operate seamlessly with US and Japanese forces. Shared technology and training would create unprecedented interoperability. Joint patrols and intelligence sharing would form a unified air defense network. This partnership would send a clear message. Aggression against the Philippines would trigger a coordinated response. Integrated deterrence is the goal, raising the cost of conflict for any adversary. The alliance isn't about provocation, it's about peace and stability. For the Philippines, it's a path to security it can't achieve alone. The F-2 deal is the hardware that makes this vision real. The Philippines stands at a crossroads. One path: continued vulnerability, where outdated laws and inaction leave the nation exposed. The other, seizing the chance to modernize defenses and forge stronger alliances. The offer from Japan is a fleeting opportunity. Every day of delay weakens the nation's position. Lawmakers hold the key. Amend Republic Act 9184 and remove the barrier to progress. This is not about politics, it's about national survival. The Filipino people and their defenders are counting on decisive leadership. The time to act is now. Secure the Viper Zeros, secure the nation's future. The world is watching. Will the Philippines rise to the challenge?